Wait.
All right, here we are, episode 12.
I said wait.
12, though, right?
13.
13. Man, did we miss you guys. We decided to take just a little short week off because it just wasn't... I don't want you guys to think that we're here just to hear the sounds of our own voices. That's not what this is about, that's for sure. I do that all the time with Jan at home, and she has to hear me talk nonstop. I wouldn't do that to you guys. But we decided to take just that 1 week just to sort of think about, like, what do we want to talk about on the show when we come back? And we finally feel like enough things have accumulated over the last little bit that we felt like we could sit down, record, and join you guys, our listeners, our viewers, and our friends, our family. My dad listens.
Yeah, your family for sure.
On Iron Age Radio, the best damn Strongman podcast coming out of Winnipeg.
I would say all of Manitoba, really.
I would agree, yeah. So we're sitting here with the one, the only, the vivacious, the seductress, Gian Sarame.
Hello.
Yeah, nice to have you back, Gian.
So what's going on lately? Not much.
Well, so we're very much in the preparations stage of Strongman season and stuff. So we're talking to venues, we're talking to sponsors, we're getting competitions announced, we're getting people registered, signed up and stuff. And we're in that sort of like calm before the storm. Well, I mean, I say calm, but like we're doing shit the whole time, you know? Like right. I drove to the border today to pick up some equipment that we're using for competitions. Smuggled it across the border. No, I'm just kidding. Didn't do that. I went there and bought some stuff, and so we're gonna have just like nice new stuff to use for competition season this year. And we're just in that planning, that scheming, that plotting time of Strongman season before we get to the competing time, which is the real fun part. But it's tedious, and it's lots of emails. Yeah. And it's lots of talking and all that shit.
A lot of note taking.
Yeah. We have a lot of shared notes right now between the two of us. But we are super excited for what we got coming up. We got so many great competitions with so many great opportunities to see so many great athletes compete. Super excited about it. We're talking about all the local stuff, and we'll get a little bit more into the local stuff a little bit later here, but we do have a list of things. You're not going to fucking believe this, ladies and gentlemen, but I took some notes. I wrote some stuff down, and I have some thoughts of things that I want to... I went thrones all up in this, and I took notes. Which I never do.
I'm trying to read it from over here, and it's really hard.
You won't be able to read it. So it's but it's one of those things where I've said before, I'm not a big preparation guy, but I had a specific thing that I want to talk about today, so I want to make sure I had all my ducks in a row for this conversation. So, are you familiar with a strongman named Paul Dwyer?
Well, not really, but I've seen his videos.
You're aware of who he is.
Yeah.
So he's a strongman. He's a YouTuber, a podcaster.
He makes reels.
Yeah, he's a pretty popular guy on social media. So he had a video that he does like responses to comments and stuff on Instagram or YouTube or whatever the fuck it is. So he had one where somebody asked what he thought about the selection for strongest man on earth, like how they're getting the athletes. And there's a bunch of different avenues that they're going into. That's all been online. We don't need to talk about all that right now, but there's a bunch of avenues. And then the one that's new apparently it was there last year too, but this is the year that they're like announcing it, making it official, making it so that it's like a more clear line, is the winner of North America's Strongest Man will be going to the Strongest Man on Earth competition. Now, that might just seem sort of like, well, fucking duh. Like, why not? Like, North America's Strongest Man. Like, you are clearly one of the strongest men in the world if you're North America's Strongest Man. But it did ruffle a little bit of feathers, specifically the European guys who aren't going to be doing North America's Strongest Man, obviously.
Right.
Because there wasn't, say, like Europe's Strongest Man wasn't picked, and Britain's Strongest Man, and those guys. And I think that's like a reasonable response. That part of it is reasonable to be like, well, you know, Europe's Strongest Man, those guys are really good, obviously, like clearly. Britain's Strongest Man, like Tom Stoltman, he'll be there otherwise, but he's amazing. So, whatever. But I think that it's the downplaying of North America's Strongest Man that kind of caught my eye and my ear on that one a little bit. Because I think that maybe because JF is a bit of like an old school guy. We know from CSM that it can be hard to view if you're not in Quebec.
Right.
We know from like the only reason that most of us saw North Americans was because Lucas Hatton was there with his video guy, and they got some great videos, some great footage of North Americans, and made a very watchable, like, edited video afterwards that was we all really appreciated because we loved watching that competition. So, but because of that, like, so North America's Strongest Man doesn't have the Giants Live machine behind it. It doesn't have what Europe's and Britain's and the Giants Live competition and stuff have, which is like this incredible production value that makes it goes on to Official Strongman Official Strongman, whatever, the website, and it's like streamed, and even Magnus was on that this year, and all these different competitions where it's like, this is like giving you visibility and making it like, it just makes a competition more credible. So I can understand what the thought on that is. But if we're talking about like an actual competition, I don't think that you can find many that are harder, like heavier, higher level competitions in North America's Strongest Man.
It's very well rounded from what I've seen.
Yeah,
it's very heavy, but it's also very difficult.
It's a classic JF competition in that it's just like brutal events, and they're super heavy, and it's just really, really hard. So I wrote down a bunch of stuff here that I want to kind of go over with just to be like, how hard is North America's Strongest Man? So let's say that like, and Jan's here kind of along for the ride on this one. She doesn't know a lot about the stuff that I'm going to talk about or anything, and she's here to look good and be in the thumbnail. But if you have any input or anything, I would love.
I'm also here to work the computer, set up the table, wipe it down, everything.
But I'm saying on camera.
Right.
You're here to look good.
Right.
So, but we have, I wrote down a bunch of stuff here that I think is kind of like, what the case that I will make, as if it needs my help, but the case that I'll make for North America's Strongest Man being considered one of the top shows in the world, whether or not it's on fucking YouTube or whether or not it's on Official Strongman or whatever, I think with some of the notes that I have here, it's in contendership for the heaviest competition in the world right now. So let's start with just the comparison to, say, Europe's Giants Live. Those being bigger competitions. Like I said, yes, they are bigger in the sense that they have more production value behind them. They're easier to watch and all that stuff. They are bigger in that sense. But if we're talking in terms of competitors, if we're talking in terms of the weights that are on the implements, it's just not bigger. It's not. And so the point that was made in that video that I was discussing earlier was that Britain's Strongest Man is clearly somebody who should be at Strongest Man on Earth. I wouldn't argue that. Sure, that makes perfect sense. Just in terms of like the you pick the strongest guy from North America, you pick the strongest guy from Britain. Like, why not?
That's what you think would happen for World's Strongest Man.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing too, right? So it's also worth mentioning too that like these European ones and that are under I wrote down GL and it makes me want to say Good Life every time. It's under the Giants Live banner is they essentially have their route to Worlds. If you win those competitions, you're gonna go to Worlds. If you win Canada's Strongest Man, you do not necessarily go to Worlds. If you win America's Strongest Man, you do not necessarily go to Worlds. So, looking at he used Britain's Strongest Man as a specific example, which was won by Tom Stoltman. Obviously, Tom Stoltman goes there. There's no question about that. Right. But he's already going there.
But he's also already won 3 times.
Worlds. Yeah. So we're talking about, but for Smo, Strongest Man on Earth, he's gonna go there. Like he has. From all of the routes that you have to get to Strongest Man on Earth, he's going to be there. Like more than once, really, he qualifies for it. Yeah. So if we look down the list now to, say, second place, Gavin Bilton, third place, Luke Stoltman, no disrespect to either of those guys as competitors or as athletes, I don't think they podium at North America's Strongest Man. Like I don't think that I think that all of the guys on the podium at North America's Strongest Man qualify for Strongest Man on Earth before those two guys do. And I specifically, when I say that, like Luke Stoltman is a guy who, on a good day, can turn it on. We all know that. Like he's one of the best to ever do it. But I don't think that Gavin Bilton is a guy that comes in and wins North America's.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, and if we look at let's get into that a little more. Like, why do I think that? I'm not just saying that just because I hate Gavin Bilton or the Stoltman brothers or anything. But if we're looking at the roster for Strongest Man on Earth, North America's Strongest Man. This is like stacked beyond stacked. Just to go with the out of WSM competitors, we got Bryce Johnson, who got second place at OSG. He got, I believe, fourth place at North America's. That's a guy who's going to be a World's competitor. If not this year, then it will be this year because he qualified. So he'll be going this year. We have, for all these WSM competitors that were there, Lucas Hatton, Max Boudreau, Marcus Crowder, Spencer Remick, Tristan Hoth, Kevin Ferris, Westerwinski. We have 7 World's Strongest Man competitors.
All my favorite guys.
And all your favorite guys, yeah. I don't know how. Are you familiar with Marcus Crowder?
No.
Okay, well he's a bit of a sad story with him. He got a really bad injury that took him out, but he was a hell of a competitor that I hope. You never know. Never say never, right? Maybe someday he returns.
I forgot to say, like, a million episodes ago, hey, this is just a tangent I need to go on.
Okay.
At Magnus, I don't know why I forgot to tell this story, but Shane Flowers hitting the log and then just breaking down and crying because he came back from an injury.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was crying.
Yeah. Shane
and I was behind a window just like, because I was so cold and I was trying to warm up, but he was outside crying.
Yeah, Shane was awesome to watch that whole competition.
Yeah. Speaking of coming back from injury, sorry.
Yeah, he does. He's a guy who competes for all. It's just always all the right reasons.
He just
coming
loves
back
it.
from injury.
Yeah.
Loves competing to show his son that dad can get out there and do it and all this shit.
Yeah.
He's a very good guy.
What a nice guy.
But back to our list here. So we have 7 World's Strongest Man competitors there, plus Bryce Johnson, who's going to be another one. Jeffers is there. He's a guy who's really walking that line to a WSM invite, I think. And if we're talking about just like the rest of the guys, if I want not to be too dismissive of them, whatever, like these guys are all fucking awesome. That's just a list of guys where it's like if you get to the top of that list of 8 guys, you are one of the best in the world. There's just no question of that. And if we look more specifically, let's say the events. So they had a max log press. I'll hide this a little bit here. So there was the max log press at North America's Strongest Man. Mm-hmm. Also in 2024, there was the World Log Lift Championship. Now, the World Log Lift Championship had 3 athletes go over 200 kilograms, 440 pounds ish. Would you care to guess how many went over at North America's Strongest Man? And it's more.
How many out of how many people?
I think it was like 12 was the number.
Was it like 8 of them?
No, it was 5 of them. I wish I hadn't asked you now, but it was 5.
Oh.
but it's like they had 5 go over 200 kilograms when the World Log Lift Championship had 3. Right. That's an outstanding competition there. Like, and we Lucas Hatton, Max Boudreau, Zach Price, Marcus Crowder, Spencer Remick all went over 200 kilograms. And like you had to have I mean, I know there's more competitions where this is becoming the case, but you had to have a 400 plus just to be even like in the conversation.
Considered,
for that.
yeah.
Like they're like
that's why I guessed a lot because it was like that's just what it is now.
But 400 pounds
went
all the way down to like 8th or 9th place.
Yeah.
Like Colton put up a huge press at like just over 400. And that was, I think I got him 8th in that competition. Like that's like a winning press in most, you know what I mean? Like in most competitions, that was a winning press at a world level competition.
Like
years
maybe
back.
5 years ago.
Yeah. So it's pretty unbelievable. And so now I'm looking at another event here too. So the sandbag throw, typically a sandbag throw in a men's competition at the pro level, at really all levels actually, is about 15 feet. That's usually like 4.6 meters, or sometimes it goes to 4.5 meters. So the highest and the heaviest at any other show, like pro show in the world this year, and I for some reason didn't write down which one it was. There was a few. I think there's a few that had this. Was 15 feet, 61 pounds.
Wow.
Okay, so at North America's Strongest Man, it was 16 feet, so it was even higher, and 70 pounds was the heaviest bag. So it's the heaviest sandbag and the heaviest 2 highest that was thrown in the competitive season. And it's like which is cool because you have like say like the max log, which is like a very like that's the static strength, along with the deadlift, that's like the static strength one. But you also had to be fucking explosive and strong with this sandbag throw too. You couldn't just rely on just being a big fat strong guy.
Too.
Yeah, absolutely. The stone series that they had ended at 202 kilograms, which is like 445, I think, or something like that. Heavy ass stone. The only competitions this last year who had a heavier stone than that in the world, according to strongmanarchives.com. Oddly enough, Sweden's Strongest Man had a 210 kilogram stone, which is fucking heavy.
Who's from Sweden even?
Fucking strong guys, I guess. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of strongmen in strongman past,
right?
There's just awesome guys coming out of Sweden, but I can't say that I'm too familiar with the scene right now. But obviously, there's some guys who are there who are monsters because they're doing 210 stone competition.
Long ass arms.
Yeah, no tell. Yeah, the Swedish guys. That's the same weight that WSM did, And the CSL, the finals had that too, 210 kilograms. So that's a heavy ass stone. The Shaw Classic, like the open division that our boy Josh Spurgeon went ahead and won, 204 kilograms. So only 2 kilograms heavier in that one, but still it's heavy ass stone. And then the strongest man on earth had the heaviest option that nobody got, which was 272, which is a monster, monster stone. But again, like we're talking in the top 6 for the heaviest stones that were loaded to competition. Not to mention, if you remember, they had that really horrible, super high one.
You had to like...
You had to shoulder it.
Yeah.
Like guys were trying to...
You had to shoulder it and then like...
And then some guys had to bump it up. Yeah, like some of the shorter guys were having a real fucking hard time with that. Or just guys who tried to load it like a regular stone. It just didn't work. You had to shoulder it and then put it on the thing. So it's just... classic JF, where it's like not only is it going to be really hard, it's going to be a fucking pain in your ass too. Those stone podiums, like I think that like a lot of guys might. I really wonder if they knew.
Right.
Like I'm sure they knew the heights.
Right.
But I wonder if they knew that it was going to be a fucking bowl.
Yeah.
Like a little
like it's
cereal
the size
bowl.
Of a dinner bowl.
Yeah.
And guess what? It wobbles.
And it moves too. Yeah, exactly. They have
Next year, like I don't know if anything's stopping him from putting it on wheels and you have to chase it. Like, or he's gonna grease it or something, like just to make it harder.
Yeah, it's like they put mats on the bottom of the platform, but it's still like it wobbles and moves.
Well, because it dents and like you move it around and like it's just weathered.
I'll tell you what, I got a little secret weapon that I got from Brent Ham at the chicken barn when he was clearing stuff out, which is it's like a flat piece of sheet metal with a circle attached to the top. It looks almost like a chimney for like a vent, like a heater. But the point is that you put it on top of the stone platform and it'll slide as if you hit the edge of it.
Oh.
So you have to get it onto the thing the same way you'd have to do it for Canada's Strongest Man, North America's Strongest Man, all that shit.
Interesting.
Yep. Thank you, Brent, for that one. I appreciate it. And no one else can use it besides me. Be the easiest thing in the world to make, but, but you can't.
You gave it away. Like you gave them a formula of exactly how to make it.
Yep. But nobody will. So the car deadlift, I mean, it was honestly, that's like, it's one of those things where it's hard to really gauge, like, even though you weigh it in the hands and all that shit, like 775, that's heavy, but it's, you know, there's
People
guys.
have done it.
I think it was 750 at Magnus.
Right.
And I got a million reps on that one, so
yeah,
you know,
a Brazilian
reps. The dumbbell medley that ended with like the Sear replica dumbbell went to 124 kilograms, 273 pounds, which is very heavy. The strongest man on earth was the only one who had a heavier one last year with 129 kilograms. So I guess that would make sense that the only one that's heavier is the one that this is qualifying you for, right?
Right.
And then we're talking about the max wheelbarrow and the power medley. It's hard to really put those in because it's like a max. You just don't see a max wheelbarrow. Only in a JF competition would you see a max wheelbarrow.
Right.
That's the thing that Canadian competitions are kind of known for. But it's not Canadian guys; it's French guys. They are the ones who are doing those competitions. It was Hugo had like the max or the wheelbarrow stuff, and JF likes the wheelbarrow stuff. It's a very Francophone, French-Canadian event. It's cool. I like that we have events that are associated with Canadians.
It's for sure there.
Yeah, I wish I was good at it. Like, I wish I was good at the one that everyone associates with Canadians, but I'm fucking not. So it's always like that where it's like, I think they said on the Magnus thing where it's like, you know, I go up for the Hercules hold, like, yeah, you know, these Canadians are good for they're known for their grip strength. And it's just like, well, not this one though. I guess.
Just Tristan and Wes. And
yeah, well, Tristan, Wes, and Jeffers go there, and they show that Canadians are good for grip strength. I was like, guys, could we all just like tone it down with the grip strength a little bit so that we're not known for that anymore? We could be known for so many things. Why the fuck does it have to be the grip strength?
Just show up and be nice.
Yeah, like. We could all practice stones, and like I'm pretty good at stones, so we could all get really good at stones, and they'd be known as the stones country. That'd be fucking great. Not grip.
Please, that's in the notes.
Yeah, that was 3 pages of this that I wrote down. Just talking about not grip
please.
anymore. And then there was the power medley, which was just like a rough. It was Fingal Fingers, something power stairs, which was
that's brutal,
tough too. Yeah, and like I said, not everything has to be like this ungodly weight. That's very hard in its own way. But I believe the point has been made that I don't think that anybody can argue and question whether North America's like. I think that like I would be curious to kind of like do like a 1-for-1, like if you could call it the heaviest competition in the world, because I think the potential is there that you could. Mm-hmm. But it's for sure in like the top 3 or 4 for heavy, like a strongest man on earth. And maybe Sweden's strongest man, and like if I'm looking at these ones, like World's Strongest Man and Strongest Man on Earth are the only ones that really give it a run for its money. And
Well, World's Strongest Man isn't the heaviest show.
no,
either.
and that's the thing too. So it's not everything can be as like boiled down to as simply as like pounds. It's just not as simple as that. But if we're talking about a show that's like a qualifier for a show like Strongest Man on Earth, which is the heaviest show in the world,
right.
you know, your show has to be fucking brutal. Your qualifiers have to be brutal. And I think that's the thing. I think too is that if you look at say like Giants Live or Europe's or BSM, Britain's Strongest Man, they line up better with Worlds because it's the same promoters.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same people that are putting on these shows, so they use the same kind of implements and the same style and everything. So it makes sense. Like one kind of leads into the next, and if you're good at one, you be good at the next one. But I think that the guys who are good at say like Europe's or Britain's, like Strongest Man on Earth, and then below that North America is just a very different competition.
Right. Well, with Britain's and Worlds too, like you're competing within the same brand of shows,
Sure.
right? So it's not necessarily going to cross over to Smo.
Sure.
So it would make sense that the heaviest shows qualify for the heaviest show.
Yeah, and I think that if nothing else, it's just a really interesting new way of doing something where it'll be like, here's a different avenue for people to like. North Americans have a direct line to a world show. That's good. And now that lends credibility to North America's Strongest Man. That makes bolsters North America's Strongest Man. If we can just please get a stream this year, oh boy, that would be lovely. So we can have people watching it. You know what I mean? Then we really have something here where this is now a world level show,
right.
And people will be forced to admit it and acknowledge it.
Fuck it, I'll stream it.
Yeah, they'll just Instagram
I'll
Live.
show up and stream it myself.
Well, me and somebody are trying to work on getting Thrones out there to do a stream, but it's all
Somebody.
it's all up to the big dog.
Somebody, is it me?
No, it's not you, but somebody equally crafty. It's all up to the big dog, though. It's all up to JF to see what he wants. It's his show. It's his style.
Yeah.
His shit. So, but it's like, and it's the same way too, where you know, it's we talked about before in the past how JF's shows prepare you for those next level of shows because he does not baby guys. He's not picking weights based on who's at a show. He's picking weights, and the guys who are at that show better be fucking ready for it.
Right.
So Canada's is a good example of a extremely heavy show. You know, we're not like it's a tier lower than say North America's or SMO or whatever. But in terms of like national level competitions, it's one of the heaviest in the world.
Yeah.
And it gets you ready for stuff like this. Like say like a guy like West, Jeffers, Tristan. These are guys where it's like, well, if you can't hang at Canada's, you're not ready for this next stage.
He just doesn't want you to embarrass him when you go to an international level.
Yes, but like not in the way that it's like not about him.
Right.
It's about Canadian strongman.
Right.
And it's
But he kind of represents that.
Well,
too.
he's he is sort of the face of it right now, right? But he's a guy where it's like if he's gonna vouch for you, or if you're gonna be Canada's strongest man, or if you're gonna be a guy who is known as like a big dog in Canada, you got to be able to hang everywhere else because it's Canada. They talked about it on I think it was Camby's podcast with Trey Mitchell. Like Canada's known as a very hard pro circuit. It's very heavy. They compete a ton, especially the Eastern guys. I wish that we could compete more often, as like the Eastern guys too. I wish we had a little more opportunities to do it. But it's a circuit that's unlike most other in the guy. And also, this isn't meaning to like say that anybody else isn't this way, but the guys are really fucking dedicated to the circuit. They're really dedicated to making sure that. Like when we talk, this has all been said before on the show, but like CSM is really in the grand scheme of what some of these guys are doing, is not that big of a deal, except for that it is to them. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a rung on the ladder that they're trying to climb. It's a separate thing that they're going to because it matters to them and because the guys care about the Canadian pro circuit. You look at Wes, you look at Tristan, you look at like Tristan only didn't do it because he was hurt, and that's when your boy stepped in, the big fucking dog, Tyler.
Step aside, Tristan,
Step
you
aside,
little
Tristan,
guy.
Little dog, Tristan. It's time for the big dogs, Tyler.
Step aside, little T, big T's coming.
Yeah, I don't even know why I said that honestly, but it was I say this all the time, but it's because it matters a lot to me too as part of the circuit that it's not something that anybody can just jump into and do.
They take good care of you. They take good care of us.
That's part of it too. Is that they give a fuck about their athletes and it's JF is a guy who just him on his own commands so much respect. If I don't think anybody on here needs explaining who JF is, but if you somehow don't know, he's the guy you should want to impress in Canadian strongman, just for your own pride.
Oh, and guess what? You're not going to, because whatever you think is cool, he's done it. He's done it so many more times.
He'll take what fucking
pride you.
what Wes is doing right now, deadlifting for like training, and he'll be like, "Oh, I'll give that a shot later." Dude, you're supposed to be out of the game forever. Like, what the fuck's going on?
I'll hit that cold and tight. Also.
Yeah, like fuck, he's just a monster, and like.
But in like the funniest way, because he just doesn't understand that there are mortals in the world.
Somebody, yeah, he does not exist on this plane where there's like, he just is elevated to where it's like,
it's either you're doing it or you're not doing it. And he just doesn't understand why you can't do it. Just do it.
Somebody suggested that on, or asked a question on Jeffers' live feed when he pulled 1,000.
Shut up.
No, sorry, he pulled 950.
No, he didn't.
Oh no, he got like 675, and then he threw on his suit or some shit. But somebody suggested that like asked what JF could pull right now or something to that effect. And I said that if he wanted to, he would, if he needed to, he would, or what the fuck? If someone would be like guys who could outpull JF on the circuit right now or something. And I said if he needed to, he would put it on and he would beat us.
Even if it kills him.
Yeah, he would, especially if it was like a rep event or something, he would just, and I mean, he could beat me in the max probably too, but he's just not a guy who I think is going to let himself be beat.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
he just makes no sense.
Yeah, he's a monstrosity of a human being. So anyway, long story short, if you don't think that North Americans should qualify you for that next level, you're wrong. And I urge you to look a little more into the numbers behind it. I urge you to look a little more into the competitors behind it. This year there will be one guy who maybe shouldn't be going to Strongest Man on Earth who will be on the North Americans roster. Me.
I know.
No, I'm excited for that. Where it's like, I've had to rise to occasions before. I didn't do it the way that I wanted to at Magnus. I just didn't come together the way that I wanted to. But I truly believe that I can redeem myself with a good performance. And I'm not saying on the scoreboard, like I don't, or like on the leaderboard, like I don't necessarily plan on like fucking cracking the top half or podium or anything ridiculous like that. But I think that I can have a good showing. And I think
if you want it, I'll make it happen.
I appreciate that.
I'll punch every guy in the nuts if I have to.
Yeah, I'm sure that would really affect them. I will. I'm confident that I can have a performance that I can be proud of. However that shakes out against everybody else. Any final closing thoughts on North America's Strongest Man and telling everyone else to suck a dick who doesn't think that they should? Oh.
I would love to. Jeffers and Keelan are having a baby.
No, we're not closing the show out. I just been a North America's Strongest Man.
Oh, no. I'm good. But that being said,
go ahead.
Jeffers and Keelan are having a baby.
Jeffers and Keelan
I'm going to be another auntie.
Yeah. I've
been bothering them for, I don't know, how long have I known them to have a baby, and I told them I would move to Moose Jaw to be their nanny.
Are you going to do that?
I might, if they let me.
Yep. Congrats to Jeffers and Keelan for their pregnancy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a way to be mean about it, but I'm just not going
to. No, don't. What the hell?
No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations to them.
I'm so excited.
Two of our closest friends in Strongman, even though it's been a relatively short period of time that we've known them, we've become very close with them. And
I cried. I told Keelan that I cried.
I have no doubt that you cried.
Because I got a text, and then you called me as soon as you got the text too, and I was already crying.
There's about to be a big speed bump in Jeffers' preparation for the season, so look out for loss number 2 to me coming, Jeffers. That's this is the year for it. If it's gonna happen, this is the year.
He's just gonna be tired all the time.
Yeah, exactly. If I can take advantage of a tired old dad, then I'll be able to do that. So anyway, another thing we had coming up here was we have 2 of the events announced for Western Canada's Strongest Man, the biggest show going on in Western Canada in the calendar year. We have an event that we haven't seen it's been a long time since they did this at Westerns. Maybe like 2016. I'm trying to think.
It's before I was born.
Yeah, God. A squat for reps, and it was a machine squat if I remember correctly in 2016. So
is this one an axle squat?
it's gonna be some sort of an implement based on like, 'cause it's like an oil rig theme. Everything is like oil rig stuff.
Right.
So I think that you get a bar, you sit two cracked out oil rig workers on either side of it, and you have to squat them or something.
So not very much.
So it's gonna be it's some sort of like like a rigging implement. I'm not sure what it is.
Do you think it'll be fixed to the bar?
I don't know. That's
'Cause that was kind of the problem.
I don't know that it'll be a standard bar.
Right. No, but because at Canadians, when they do a squat, the whole thing turns if it turns.
I would say it's very likely going to be that again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, very likely to be something like that. Probably touching just like these details haven't been released yet.
Right.
They said it'll be a very thick bar, like up to 3 inches. Whatever, like it's not a bar, but whatever is on your back. And hopefully it's touching to a platform, but I don't actually know. 635 for reps is what we were told. So but again, it's like it's just like, it's not like weights that they're adding to something. So that could be an estimate, could be higher, could be lower, could be dead on. I have no idea. So that sucks. That fucking sucks because I am not a squatting kind of guy. I'm working on it. I just never really push, like I push squats for CSM 2022, big fat zero in that one. But the weights kept going up. It was like, first it was announced at 635, which is what it's going to be here. And I was like, okay, I can get one at 635. I can do that. And then all of a sudden it was 650, and I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, maybe if it's really whatever. And then it'd be like 680 or something like that. And I was like, okay, well.
It's like other people planned it, and then like at the very end, JF woke up and he's like, no.
So yeah, that
1,000.
That one didn't go well. But it's like the most I've ever squatted is 600, which is like not very high for what the guys that are at my level can do. So I'm looking forward to pushing that a little bit and seeing where that can end up, though, because I think that I can get quite a bit higher than that. But Brad Shepard, 1,000-pound squatter. There's like 5 guys. Sam Brisling's a great squatter. These are all guys that are like right off the top of my head. I'm like, okay, they're all going to beat me, but it's only one event, right? But then the second event also
But wait.
is the goddamn motherfucking Denny bullshit again. Like I was.
Okay, but you didn't do as horrible as you thought you were going to.
No, I just don't want to fucking train it. I don't want to do it. Like it's like this isn't, no disrespect to the promoters of the show. You guys are doing great work, and it's always like the implements look cool at all. It's like all based on like, again, rig shit. I get it. But fuck you. I fucking hate those fucking Denny rings. And these ones look even worse because they're like kind of flatter, the rings.
So they're not the Cerberus ones.
They're attached to these big oil drills.
What?
So it's like I'll show you.
How are you supposed to prepare for this?
They look cool. They look like
Right.
like the drills look like a big fucking like teeth. Like it looks like a shark's head almost. But it's like it looks so hard, and everyone tells me it hurts way more than the regular ones. I was like, oh good, because the regular ones felt great. So it's going to be really, really hard, really, really awful. So, fuck you.
You feel good? You got that?
No, I feel worse, right? Because now we've talked about it. Now it's on my mind, and it's just like, fucking sucks. And then, like, because there's a squat, there's probably not going to be a deadlift.
No.
That's probably taking the spot of that, so.
But there might be a throwing.
I don't care anymore.
Okay. You'll get to see our friends?
I just want there to be a deadlift. Just give me a max deadlift. Obviously no suit, and take out the squat.
And a big banner that says "Fuck you, Jeffers."
I really liked CSM, where the grip event was the arm over arm harness pull. That's the perfect grip event. That's exactly what should be the grip event.
It's not a grip event.
Well, apparently it was.
Okay.
So that's should be the only grip test, is you're holding onto the rope for an arm over arm. A harness pull, not an arm over arm. No arm over arms. A harness pull.
Harness pull. No.
Yeah.
Not arm over arm.
Not arm over arm. We're not fucking with arm over arms anymore.
It's okay, buddy. You had a good season.
Thanks. So anyway, we're talking about Western stuff.
You're such a baby.
Just give me exactly, like, give me the events that I want. Just give me all the events that.
Yeah, they should cater to you.
Last Westerns, the events fucking sucked for me too, except for like 2 of them. And I'm just bad at some of them. That's the ones that I don't like. I'm bad at, obviously. But it was like the front hold. No, let's get okay. Front holds. I'm making a promise to Manitoba competitors or any competitors that do my competitions. We're done with front holds. We're moving past
I love
those.
them.
Why?
Because it's easy to bring and it's easy.
Well, that's why we've done it in the past. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm sick of taking the easy way out on those ones.
But it's easy on the scorekeepers, and it's.
No, we're not doing front holds anymore because they don't test anything that's important in strongman.
Except if you're good at front hold.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Like even if it's like a grip hold, that's at least testing your grip. If it's like, you know what I mean, or if it's like a fucking wrecking ball hold or whatever, or like a car deadlift hold with straps, or whatever. There's lots of holds that you can do that are actually testing strength, where a front hold is just testing how long your arms are and how fat your belly is. And
sounds great.
Yeah, so we're done with those. And there was one in Westerns last year, and I think fucking Lars won because he's why did Lars do so well in it?
Because he's great at front hold.
Yeah, but why though? What about his leverages make it easy?
Because his belly.
Yes, because his arms don't stick out further than his belly.
He's with child.
He's with child. That's true. We love you, Lars. So that's the Western Roundup, I think.
That's the Western rumor mills.
Well, that's official. That's been announced on their page. So that's what's happening with that.
And it's 2 days, right?
It's 2 days. So you never know. There could still be a deadlift in there. I hope there is. I really do. I hope. And if there was one, it would probably be a max because
this is the first 2-day Westerns in I don't know how long.
Fort Mac.
Fort Mac wasn't 2 days, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Remember, because the first day went really well and the second day went really bad.
Oh, right. right.
Yep. So we Westerns is going to be an interesting one this year. There's going to be a lot of new faces too. We got Langelar and Billy, the two new pros on the circuit, coming to show they belong. It's an important show for those two guys, I would say.
Yeah.
This is going to be their first like Western Canadian pro show. I know that they're both doing the Arnolds, which I'm looking forward to. Can we watch those? Do they stream that somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward
to
watching.
You could buy it, I think.
Okay. We'll have to get that. So we'll watch that. I'm looking forward to that.
We'll get that while we're in beautiful Moose Jaw.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna go watch Powerlifting Nationals in Moose Jaw to watch Ladanian and Candace clean up. And go
to the Jeffers family tunnels.
Yeah, we'll visit his the museum that Jeffers gets all of his. He just like opens a tap and just turns on, money comes out and closes it. Oh, here's for my suit.
One suit, please.
But anyway, this will be like a really important competition for Billy and Langelar because it's the first one that's in like as pros in front of the other pros.
Yeah,
like in front of the Western Canadian pros, and I'm sure that's. I've experienced it. It's a high stress situation. It feels like you have something much more to prove for sure, and it's the first time that you'll feel like you have something to lose.
Right.
You know, when you're an amateur showing up, competing against all the big guys, that's exactly what you are. You're an amateur competing against the big guys. That's fine. You however it shakes out, that's how you do. When you earn that pro status, those are your peers now, and you have to be able to hang with them. And I'm not saying you have to like win or you have to even podium necessarily, but you have to be able to show that you belong. And I think those guys are capable too. I think that having said that, this is not me saying like, and get ready because they're not. Like they have the ability. I think that there's some gaps to obviously close. It's like they've both been thrust into the situation now where they have to be faster in fixing problems. You know, using Langelar as an example, he was a guy where if he would have had maybe a year more on the AMs, he would have been, say, like right now he's training for a 320 log at the Arnolds. It's fucking heavy. He would have had another year or so training for that 260, 265, 285 range.
Getting those reps in and figuring it out.
Yes. And so now he has to go very heavy very quickly, which he's capable of doing. And this is, again, I don't mean this to be like you guys are fucked. Like, it's just like, it's going to be a lot harder. And they skip sort of like the fun part.
I call it the honeymoon phase.
Right, where it's like you get to just enjoy the process of just getting better and no one's like looking at you.
And like you can feel that you're outgrowing the AM.
Yeah, Yeah, you're like the shell.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're growing out.
Yeah.
You've outgrown. Like say
You can
like
dominate all these shows
Right.
until you get to the pros.
right.
Right.
So you look at like say that's what happened to me on the amateur level, where it was like I was kind of just waiting for an opportunity to get out of it. Dan, same thing. It was just like he would win every event, never mind win a competition. That was same what I was doing too. And now we have a new crop of guys who are looking to be like that next dude who's going to be like waiting for his opportunity to jump out. So, all the best to Langelar and Billy. They're training for the Arnolds. I don't know of any other guys that I think maybe Josh Cloherty might be going. I'll have to check into that. But anybody who's going, best of luck. It's a hard show. That fucking sandbag medley is
brutal.
oh my god, it's unbelievable. It's
Oh my
heavy
God.
and
Yeah.
it's like it's
Well, last year I watched a guy break it, and he had to wrestle with a sandbag over and over again because
Yeah.
it kept falling out the
falling-
bottom.
Yeah. This one will
Yeah.
be. This one will be.
I'm hoping they put a couple extra
it's-
bolts in there.
This thing is like it ends with like a 440 bag or something crazy like that. Like it's super fucking heavy, so it's gonna be really really challenging. So I just train hard, get yourself ready for it, guys. It's all you can do. I wish that we could go. I'm starting to get that feeling of like, I wish we were going to the Arnolds this year.
I still have my Google Flight notifications on, and just in case I decide to go.
I guess you can go by yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna.
I wouldn't be going by myself. Martin would be coming.
Is Martin going?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
of course Martin's going. He's coming to Moose Jaw with us, and then going to the Arnolds.
Like from Moose Jaw?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I think so.
Oh man, yeah, I'd like to go there because it would be like we would be less tied to the competition. Like I think that
More time with the busty ladies.
yeah, more time with those giant titty ladies that walk around like weirdos. More time watching celebrities from afar and not going and meeting them and not waiting in line.
Right. We just stare at them like freaks.
Yeah, exactly. I just hope that I pass them at some point walking around and
Right.
and bother them and next time I'm there, I bumped into like John Hack, who was like no one really seems to like recognize him because he's just like a pretty normal looking guy with a sweater on and stuff, whatever. Next time I'll have to make sure I tell him that I have a good deadlift. make sure he knows that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that he'll care.
With like crazy eyes like that too.
Yeah,
like
I'm
I
really
have a good
I have
lip.
a good deadlift. I think
I know.
that,
I'm really bummed that we're not going, but I really want to make that up by going to Colorado in August to watch Josh.
oh yeah.
For Strongest Man on Earth. I would love
the
to go.
The Raging Cajun, Josh Purgeon.
The Raging Cajun.
Yeah, I would like to watch that. Although I don't know, I just think I'd feel weird going there and like
Why?
because then people will be like, why didn't you compete? I'll be like, I don't know, like. 'Cause
So
I'm
what?
I'm a dork.
We can go sit with his family again.
That's true. You can
Yeah.
sit next to his mama.
Yeah.
Yep. I would like to. I actually would like to go there to watch Josh run wild in the Strongest Man on Earth. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy,
If he ever survives this blizzard they're getting.
What?
Oh my goodness. Louisiana got snow and they just don't know how to operate. Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, try being here.
Well, we're prepared for it.
I know.
Louisiana's. They're
But I'm not built for this weather.
Down on the bayou, they don't know how to handle snow. It's
I
a little
said to
different.
him, try being 100 pounds and minus 40. And he said, grow up.
Josh is out there with overalls, rolled up, no shoes, no socks, shrimping, catching crawdaddies in the fucking lake with a straw hat on, and all of a sudden it's fucking snowing. He doesn't know how to deal with that.
Shrimping.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to deal with that shit. He's just yelling it's Creole. He's yelling in Creole down there, like swearing, and he's down there noodling for catfish, trying to catch him with his fucking fist. That's that thing they do.
Oh, yeah, where it's like down to the elbow. Yeah.
Josh,
yeah.
I've seen so many videos of Josh noodling with catfish. It's fucking crazy. He does it all.
Noodling?
That's what it's called. He does that all the time. He showed me so many videos of him catching just catfish this fucking big with his bare hands. It's incredible. Anyway, he should do great.
But I would love to go.
but I would like to see him though. There's nothing better than the bonds of friendship that we get from meeting
From
these people.
Strongman?
Yeah, they're Strongman.
Yeah.
We all have this similar thing. There's probably very little that I have in common with any of my friends that I've made through Strongman, except for that we do Strongman, and that's all that we need.
We have one thing in common. We all love to be annoying to each other.
That's true. Yeah, that's an important part of our friendship. So what time we got for time there? 45.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not.
That's respectable.
Yeah, let's not push it any farther than we have to on this one. So we're going to start wrapping this one up. So February the 8th, this will come out either on Saturday or Sunday, I think, depending on Denzel's schedule. But speaking of Denzel, getting started in the strongman game, he'll be in the novice competition. February the 8th, we have world-renowned strongman coach. A case can be definitely made. This is not an exaggeration that he's the best strongman coach in the world right now. Excuse me. He Alex Jose on social media.
How do you say his last name?
It's not Pagan, I know, but I didn't ask him.
You've talked to him how many times since the last episode?
Lots. But I asked me how many times I've asked him about his last name. 0.
I'll ask him.
Okay. Alec, I see you keep saying Alex now. Alec Jose, coach of Inez, coach of Lucas Hatton. Truly pumping out some of the best athletes in the world right now, and one of the better minds in strongman. So if you haven't signed up, I really, really urge you to. And I said this before, if you have a coach that you pay for who lives in Manitoba and they're not going to this seminar, question that. Ask yourself why. Ask them why, because I would love to know.
Or even like Olympic lifting.
Sure, he's a good Olympic lifting coach too. We have it's always the same thing where we have a great turnout from competitors, which I fucking love. I love that there's it would be so easy for the competitors to be like, well, I have a coach, I don't need to whatever. But no, they come out and they want to have a better understanding, it's like a deeper knowledge of the sport, and I love that. It makes me so happy to see that. And it's and there are the same coaches that show up. Devin, me, Langelar, Thrones, and I don't mean to cut anybody out. We have a new coach from Brickhouse coming, a young woman who's coaching out of Brickhouse that I'm very excited to have her down here, and it's always those guys. And there's lots that are not on that list.
Why the fuck wouldn't you? Because it's a write-off. It's a tax write-off.
Sure, yeah, why not? Also,
I don't get it.
It's also not expensive. So,
and also, you could just like put it on your Instagram or whatever and say, hey, I'm furthering my education.
Right.
That's even more of a reason for other people to go to you.
Also, you can suck on my dank too. So it's if you don't think there's like a value in it. So whatever. The people who come benefit from it. The people who don't, they just don't.
Stay dumb.
Yeah,
I guess.
Stay dumb. Stay dumb, loser. So that'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to just having Alec up here. Like he's a great guy to have around. And if you haven't spent any time around him, we've been lucky enough to be around him at a few shows and stuff. Just a great guy, super easy to talk to, funny, and just a well of knowledge.
Yeah,
like I can't wait to see what he teaches people.
I can't wait to go to Hot Pot with him.
Yes, a classic strongman after
seminar hot pot.
After seminar hot pot, yeah. And then on March the 8th, exactly a month later, we have our charity log event here. We've seen a great registration for that. Still lots of space open though. We're going to be having, it's a $25 registration. With every single money, all the money, every single money that we get is going to the North End Women's Center right here in Winnipeg, a fantastic organization that does a lot of really great work, and they cannot function without funds. So we're going to help them with that as much as we can. If you want to register, it's on all the information for registration for all of his competitions is on ironagestrength.ca. If you want to just donate, bang my line. Drop me an Instagram message or an email and just say, hey, this is just for a donation, whether or not you want to lift, whatever, cool. And we're going to have a nice big fat donation to give to the North End Women's Center. I'm really excited.
Come and watch.
Come spectate. Yeah, come check it out. We're going to
bring your friends.
There's definitely going to be some records set. We got Evan, who's one of our new lifters here, who's a 90/105 guy who will be looking to set some new Manitoba provincial records here. He lives in the province now, and he is very capable of doing it, so it'll be really fun. On April the 12th, we have our annual novice competition, normally held in southern Manitoba. This year, we're going up north. We're going to the Interlake to Iron Image. They haven't hosted a competition since like 2018, I think it was, when we had a novice competition there before. And we kind of fucked up their place a little bit. So respect to them for having us back. Yeah, with nothing but love and respect for Iron Image, Tom, Matt, all those guys for having us back. With that competition in mind, whenever this event comes or this episode comes out, next Saturday, February 1st, myself and Langelar will be hosting a free seminar, whatever, like training session, Strongman Saturday. Yeah. At Iron Image to go over all the implements being used in the competition. I don't know how many opportunities a lot of guys will have to use throwing stuff. Like we're gonna bring the throwing bags. So this is a great chance to practice that stuff because it's one of those things where it's like if you don't put your hands on it, you're gonna be really shocked when competition time comes around.
Right.
It's free, noon, February 1st. Just drop me or in Langlar a line if you want to come down. Just so we have an idea of how many people are coming.
Also, drive safe getting there.
Yeah, it's wild. It's
very
been
scary.
Wild this last little bit. And then the novice competition, get signed up for that one. It's only $50. There's no secret hidden fees. There's no memberships. There's no nothing. You just got to sign up for that, and you're good to go. And if you're interested, and if you live in the city and you're like, hey, I kind of like to do it, but I just don't know how many implements, just drop me a message. You can come use this. You can come to the gym, try stuff out, buy a shirt, and that's your fee, whatever. I want to make this a big successful competition. We've already had a really good response to a really good sign up, but I want to try to get that same number that we got last time, which was like 40 people. That would be fucking cool.
Yeah, and somebody told me, oh, we need more women. And then like 1 million women showed up.
Yeah, we had a great response.
And I wasn't allowed to quit.
We had a great response because you were there doing it. So then May 7th? No, 10th. May 10th. The poster will be out by the time this comes out. Hopefully, I'm just a little bit of a delay on it. Battle of the Border 3 in Tolstoy, Manitoba, right close to the border, obviously, hence the name. It'll be an SCC regional qualifier, so it's going to be weight classes. It's going to be a great opportunity for people who are thinking about nationals. This is your jump off point. This is where you got to start.
And you'll need your SEC memberships before that day.
If you want to go on.
If you want to go on
yes.
to nationals.
If you don't want to, don't worry about it. But we urge people to plan to do the whole season all the way to nationals this year because it's in like just outside Calgary. It'll be like a really affordable nationals compared to some of the other ones that, East Coast, West Coast type thing.
It'll be easy to get to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and then on June 7th, we have Western Canada's Strongest Master. The men's side filled up like pretty much right away. We've got a great roster for that. We've got a great roster for the women's side as well too, but it's not as full as I want to see it. I'll just be totally blunt. We have about half of our roster full for that one. I know that we have a really deep roster of Western Canadian Masters women's lifters.
Who can we call out?
Jose, but she'll never see it.
We'll just call her.
Yeah, I'll phone her and I'll call her out that way. But I really I want this to be a successful, and the women's side that we have right now is awesome. The competitors that we have signed up, I'm so excited to watch them compete. There's like 3 or 4 women especially where I'm like, these women are gonna battle this out. But I want to see just like a bigger roster. You know what I mean? We want to find out truly who the best Masters competitor is in Western Canada, and the best way to do that is more competitors. So hopefully we can see a little bit of a boost in that. If you know a Masters competitor, if you're somebody who's listening to this and you know a female Masters competitor who's like they should be doing that, tell them, put the screws to them, make sure that they sign up.
Tag
for
them.
It. Tag them. Yeah, put them
on the spot.
Yeah.
Embarrass them.
Yeah. Make it weird and personal. Anyway, so I think we'll leave it there for now. We're at oh baby, we cruised through this.
That's the sweet spot right there.
Yeah. So, Jan, do you have anything else you want to add to this?
No. I don't think so.
No? Okay, great.
Oh, no. Never mind. I was going to say that the novice show is my birthday eve.
Oh, hey guys, just so you guys know, the novice show is Jan's birthday eve. So, do with that information what you will. Really important stuff there that was shared with us.
Listen, you asked me to be here.
All right, we'll sign off there for now, and we'll see you guys
sometime.
Maybe next week, maybe not. We'll see. Bye-bye.
Bye.